My dear friends, in the sequence of learning MORTH 5th revision, now we'll learn section 303 Pre-splitting rock excavation slopes. 303.1 General. Pre-splitting is defined as the establishment of a specified excavation slope in rock by the controlled use of explosive and blasting accessories is properly aligned and spaced drill holes. The pre-splitting technique shall be used for forming rock excavation slopes at locations shown on the drawing or as otherwise directed by the engineer. 303.2 Construction Operations. Prior to starting drilling operation for pre-splitting, the contractor shall furnish the engineer a plan outlining the position of all drill holes, depth of drills, type of explosive to be used, loading pattern and sequence of firing. The drilling and blasting plan is for record purpose only and will not absolve the contractor of his responsibility for using proper drilling and blasting procedures. Controlled blasting shall be with a shortest section of length approved by the engineer. The test section shall be pre-split. Production drilled and blasted and sufficient material excavated whereby the engineer can determine if the contractor method have placed on acceptable slope. All overburdened soil and weathered rock along the top of the excavation for a distance of about 5 to 15 meters beyond the drilling limit or to the end of the excavation, as decided by the engineer, shall be removed before drilling the pre-splitting holes. Particular care and attention shall be directed to the beginning and end of excavation to ensure complete removal of all overburdened soils and weathered rock and to expose fresh rock to an elevation equal to the bottom of the adjacent left of the pre-splitting holes being drilled. Slope holes for pre-splitting shall be drilled along the line of the planned slope within the specified tolerance. The drill holes shall not be less than 60 mm nor more than 75 mm in diameter. Drilling operations shall be controlled by the use of proper equipment and technique to ensure that no hole shall deviate from the plan of the planned slope by more than 300 mm, nor shall any hole deviate from being parallel to an adjacent hole by more than 2/3 of the planned horizontal spacing between holes. The length of pre-split holes for any individual left shall not exceed 9 meters. The spacing of pre-split holes for any individual left shall not exceed 900 mm on centers and shall be adjusted to result in a uniform shear face between holes. Auxiliary drill holes along the pre-split line and not loaded or streamed may be ordered by the engineer, excepting for spacing. Auxiliary drill holes shall conform to the provision for pre-split holes. The line of production holes shall be placed inside the pre-split lines in such a manner as to avoid damage to the pre-split face. If necessary, to reduce scatter and over break of the pre-splitting surface, the first line of the production holes shall be drilled parallel to the slope line at the top of the cut and at each level thereafter. Any blasting technique which results in damage to the pre-split surface shall be immediately discontinued. No portion of any production hole shall be drilled within 2.5 meters of a pre-split plant, except an approved by the engineer. The bottom of the production holes shall not be lower than the bottom of the pre-split holes. A maximum offset of 600 mm will be permitted for a construction working bench at the bottom of each left for use in drilling the next lower pre-splitting pattern. The drilling operations shall be adjusted to compensate for drift of previous levels and for the offset at the start of new levels to maintain the specified slope plane. The maximum diameter of explosive used in pre-split holes shall not be greater than one half the diameter of the pre-split holes. Only a standard cartridge explosive prepared and packaged by explosive manufacturing firms shall be used in pre-split holes. These shall be fired as recommended by the manufacturer. Ammonium nitrate composition blasting agent will not be permitted in pre-split operation. Steaming may be required to achieve a satisfactory pre-split phase. Steaming material shall be dry, free-running material, all of which passes 11.2 mm sieve and 90% of which is retained on 2.8 mm sieve. Steamed pre-split holes shall be completely filled to the collar. All charge in each pre-split pattern shall be detonated simultaneously. 303.3 Tolerances. The pre-split face shall not deviate more than 300 mm from the plane passing through adjacent drill holes, except where the character of rocks is such that, as determined by the engineer, irregularities are unavoidable when completed. The average plane of the slope shall conform to the slope indicated on the plans, and no point on the completed slope shall vary from the designated slope by more than 300 mm. These tolerances shall be measured perpendicular to the plane of the slope. In no case shall any portion of the slope encroach on the side drains, as long as equally satisfactory pre-split slopes are obtained. Then either the slope face may be pre-split before drilling for production blasting, or pre-splitting the slope face and production blasting may be done at the same time, provided that the pre-splitting drill holes are fired with zero delay and the production holes are delayed, starting at the row of holes for farthest from the slope and processing in steps to the row of holes nearest the pre-split lines, which row shall be delayed at least 50 milliseconds. In either case, the pre-split holes shall exceed shall extend either to the end of the excavation or for a distance of not less than 15 meters beyond the limits of the production holes to be detonated. Measurement for payments 303.4. The area of pre-split to be paid for will be measured as square meters as acceptable pre-split slope surface. 303.5. The contract unit rate for pre-split work shall be payment in full for carrying out the required operation for obtaining acceptable pre-split slope surface. The quantity of rock excavated through the production pre-split holes shall be paid for as per clause 303.9.1. Thank you for learning 303 with us.